Good morning, America, and welcome to our daily news. I'm your host, Easton Sherman. Starting off today with some big news is that there has been reports of journalists being killed on the front line. Being a journalist can be a very dangerous job because you are on the front line during the Vietnam War, which U.S. forces fought from 1960 through 1974, and which cost the lives of several million Southeast Asians, and 50 journalists died. Not one of them was killed by American fire. In the Iraq War, 136 journalists were killed. At least 15 of them, about 11% of the total, were killed by U.S. forces. The world is a more dangerous place for the journalists. Journalists are increasingly at risk of being killed or imprisoned for doing their jobs, a situation that imperils press freedom. We just got more information about 9 journalists have been killed, at least one by U.S. forces in Afghanistan. And in that, one thing is clear: it is dangerous in the extreme to be a journalist covering Americans' wars, at least beginning with the Vietnam and in Iraq. It was more dangerous to be a journalist than to be a soldier. In New York, the president and CEO of the Associated Press says journalists around the world are increasingly under attack by the people trying to influence, control the news. Gary Pruitt spoke Monday at the news conference before a symposium focusing on some Algerian journalists in prison in Egypt. Pruitt touched the recent death of a photojournalist. She was killed last week in Afghanistan, and her colleague Kathy Gannon was seriously wounded. The women were covering the runoff election. Egyptian authorities say that Al Jazeera journalists engaged in terrorism-related offense by providing a platform to the Muslim Brotherhood. Their defenders say they were doing their job as a journalist. So far, we are hearing terrible news. The plan and a 5-year-old UN resolution that calls for protection of journalists in conflict zones require full implementation in order to guarantee a free, safe press. A UN plan to strengthen international efforts to fight impunity and security around the world, which is being implemented with the CPG supported, aims to create safer conditions for the journalists to work. That wraps our show up, and thanks for watching our daily news.